said, God said, when I work my work, my strange work. When I work my deed, my strange deed.
If you want to share it to your followers, you can just share the live on your Facebook page so your followers can see it.
And then just share now. And then if I leave it on mute, I do see it now.
Mm-hmm. And if you want to go live on your Facebook, you can, because this is connected to the Brunch Bunch Facebook account, not yours. So nothing you do here will affect this.
Thank you, Jesus.
I'm fine.
I held you in my arms. He said, and then Ephraim, I taught you how to walk.
You work with a lot of politicians?
He said, not only did I hold you,
you look familiar.
Teach you how to walk.
No.
But listen to what he told Ephraim.
That's yours.
He said,
It's not. Yeah, perfect.
Ephraim, this is God's speech.
But you said in construction, right? So the black construction?
No. Most of the things I do is independent, and we self-fund all I do.
God is saying, I bow down.
Yeah.
You just wait. Later on next week, it'll come to you and be like, oh, that's what it is. Swagger DJ Mix in the raw.
Thank you for being a part of the meeting place broadcast.
Lord works.
How do I do that? Oh, go to the Brunch Bunch also?
Yeah, you can go to Brunch Bunch, or you can just go to your own personal Facebook.
Are you going to be talking?
Yeah, I'll be talking to her. Just about her set when we talk about that's what we're on for. Remember, this whole me hosting was last minute. We were coming on to talk about the blood drive on Sunday. So where do we put that in?
We can have that in the rock.
Or call Bishop for prayer at 214-371-8768.
Okay, very good.
Expressed in the preceding program do not reflect the staff or management of Inspiration 1390 or iHeartMedia.
WGRB Chicago and
Wellness
radio
advocate.
stations make us the #1 preset on your car radio and on the free, new and improved iHeartRadio app. Listen for all your music, radio, and podcasts. Free never sounded so good. Inspiration 1390, music of power and praise.
The company
views and opinions expressed in the following program do not reflect the staff or management of Inspiration 1390 or iHeartMedia.
Zeno.
Yeah.
Okay. Do we have anything for in the room?
I think it's going to be
That's just going to be me. But I'm saying there's nothing else that was already scheduled.
It would just be Frank. Since we had 2 guests, there's no stories.
Perfect. That's.
And your name is Gina, right?
Yep. Gina Lamar Evans. I'm an HIV training specialist. I opened a core center in the 90s. I work in healthcare.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so you said health advocacy, but I'm in healthcare. I'm not live here yet, right? Yeah. Oh, it says 2 people. It says 2 people watching. So I'm live. You let me be live and not speak to the listeners, to the believers. Hey, you all, I am live in studio, sitting in for Action Jackson. I am excited to be here. Come on in the room. That's all I got. Y'all know I'm a good Catholic. I don't know songs. So I have Frank in the room with me, Lyric, Zoe.
And she don't have no lyrics. Lyric has no lyrics. Don't sing
My
a
mother
lick.
just liked the movie.
I love it. That's good stuff.
Yes.
That's good stuff.
Yeah, you just missed the car generation, and before that the liquor generation.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Mercedes and Alizé.
Lexus. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yeah.
Hey, Mom.
I'll tell you.
While we are waiting, about to come in, we're
Gina.
about to start this brunch bunch. Hey, Gina Lamar over here. Wait a minute. That's you. There I am. Bam.
So then, Larry, do you want to be on the live stream?
Yes.
Let me see you. Okay. I'm going to send you the link
Okay.
to the stream. I'll help you set it up.
Cool.
Bam. Can you see us all?
I'm trying to.
Nah, it's fine. It's fine.
Gotta figure this thing out.
We're gonna get it ready. We're gonna talk about those supplements you have there, Freddie.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about something.
Talk about some of those supplements.
Conversation today. We're gonna talk about it.
7.
I know you all don't talk about me on Facebook, but I just want to make sure I'm asking you saying the same thing. So I shared this to my page. So I'm live on my page on the Brunch Bunch. I didn't share it to your page yet. Oh, okay.
Sharing it does not affect a lot because that's through the Brunch Bunch's Facebook account. This is yours. All you did was share it. It puts it on your page so people can see it. You're not live on your page.
Oh. Thank you, Justice, for making it make sense again. And he's only going to have to tell me this about 5 more times. So you're like, can my sister see me? She doesn't know to go to the room, but I'm still going to shout her out because she's always listening in Columbus, Ohio. She knows I'm on the air. That thing.
I still muted.
You just turn the volume over down.
I know this is
It's evening.
I meant to tell you all when you're printing this, make it in big print. I was trying to be cute in my contacts today. I need everything that print. I'm fine. Believers, I'm here.
It's funny. So I tried to make it
Host to the most.
which is not.
Yeah, right. Hostess with the most.
So you right in the lines there.
Yes.
Going right into the lines, man. Let's go. Let's go. That's the host.
Pew, pew, pew. I'm ready. I'm nervous. Everybody says, you get nervous? Absolutely, I get nervous. Let me see if I can just... I think I might move that up.
We are live. Ready to take
Live
off
on the Brunch Bunch.
in about
So we have time
3-4 minutes.
Remember how to do
Come
the
on in.
intro?
Come on in.
You got it.
Got me.
You're just gonna come in, introduce yourself. Hey, it's Lamar, filling in for Marcellus Jackson. We got a great show for you today. We have Frank Kimbrough, we have the Flanagans, and keep it locked to Inspiration Person.
Also, shout out DJ Swagger DJ Adrian.
Shout out who?
Swagger.
So what you talking about today?
Swagger DJ.
You know what ain't music?
Yes, no, a blood drive for Sickle Cell Awareness Month.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Yes, she's a blood drive on Sunday. All right, perfect.
Is that a walk?
Just a blood
No,
drive.
Just a blood drive. Well, not just a blood drive.
Well, no, it's not a walk as well.
No, it's
Right.
not a walk.
Right, but there's not a walk.
It's a
Yes.
great blood drive, a great cause.
I know sickle cell, it used to be.
Oh, then you should come out on Sunday and give it, because all of this goes to people with sickle cell, which is usually people of color. And so we can be more specific with our blood, right? We can tell where it's going. So
You can track
We'll
the
talk
blood
more about it.
after you give it.
Yes.
They'll be giving
that is
some
fun to
for
track.
sickle
I
cell
like
trait.
that.
Hey, you give me water. Thank you. It used to be when I was like in my teens, early, even before then, when I was in elementary school, this would be a lot of kids with sickle cell back then.
Because we were still learning,
Right.
and still recognizing that it's fine if you carry the trait. just can't marry the trait.
Right. Oh.
So you can be a trait carrier. When you get with a trait carrier, it creates dealers. Yeah, so that's the part. And you know, back in the day, you're gonna say back then, we were always talking about, oh, we gotta get a blood test. Well, blood test was not even about, you know, STDs the way people said it was. It was always to make sure that it wasn't your brother or sister you were marrying.
Yeah.
So that's where that came from.
Yeah. My hashtag test don't guess.
I love that. Stealing that one.
Yeah.
We talk HIV testing all the time. So clearly test don't guess is definitely something.
Good question.
It's gonna be
Streamer account before now. Can I just do it through Facebook? Because I
Streamer?
don't have an account.
You don't need an account.
Or you don't? To share it?
To share? No, you just so you got Facebook. Just go to Facebook. And search it.
Yeah.
Brunch Bunch.
test don't guess. I like that, Frank. I'm stealing.
That's what we do. We are the world's first and only test-based nutrition company.
I'm gonna make sure I'm
No, so
Test don't guess.
it's okay. It's okay. High key, a little bit. Okay, no,
Test
so
do not guess.
He said high key. I
this
like that.
this goes to the Brunch Bunch's Facebook account. So you know how you can share posts on Facebook and they go up on your page?
Yes.
That's what you're doing
Right.
by going to the Brunch Bunch Facebook account on yours.
Right.
So you can just share it to let your followers know, hey, I'm on here, and they can watch. They can watch it from there.
Okay.
But no, you don't go live at the same time.
Okay.
I'm on in,
All right, we're about to.
in 30 seconds. Right? Yeah.
Yes.
Is this how many people are watching?
Yes.
I'm used to my 3 people, y'all, on my page. Not the ones on their page. Hey, believers, I am filling in for Action Jackson.
15 seconds.
Toy boat.
You got it.
Make sure they're silent. I mean, like the ringer.
5,
Oh, yeah.
4, 3, 2. We're going live.
Good afternoon, believers. Good afternoon. Welcome to the Brunch Bunch. But of course, it's Gina Lamar filling in for Action Jackson. And it's a really great show. Happy Friday. Yay, as we are here at the end of the week for some people, start of the week for others, but that's okay. We're going to have a great show for you. I have in the building with me the one, the only, and he's been here before, Frank Kimbrough. Give it up. The crowd goes wild. Yes. All right, great. And then I'm so happy to have you here because we were saying, hey, I think I know you. And then we kept talking, and then you just dropped a real good nugget on me.
Yes.
Test, don't guess.
Yes.
So, Frank,
Yes.
tell us a little bit more about yourself. I do understand that you've been here before, and I know a little bit about your work through the Healthy, Wealthy, Wise movement.
Yes. So, naturally, I've been into health and nutrition for the last 12 years. It's a passion of mine to help our community, right? Because we are the ones that is, I would say we're the least deprived of health. I think we are the least educated of health, right?
Yes.
And I don't think we take enough initiative. We just get the answers that are told to us, but we don't really do the research or haven't been taught how to do the research. Right?
Absolutely.
So my job every Friday is to come here and educate the community of what they can do to get their body back in optimal condition. Because I tell people, ounce of prevention is better than a pound of cure.
Yes, that's so true. And we think about that all the time. But I have to be honest, when you're young, you're not thinking about that, right? When you're having, bad diet and, when you want to lose weight, I just stopped drinking pop for a week. I dropped 10 pounds, right?
Yep.
That worked for me. Not so much at 58.
Right. Yeah. So, and that's the thing that we're seeing. And everything I do is from a clinical study standpoint, right? It has to be backed up 100,000% peer-reviewed study. That's the only way I would speak about it.
Very good.
I'll tell a person I got to do my research. And what we're finding is that the diseases that was our parents' disease and our grandparents' disease are our kids' disease, and they're living with it right now in their 20s.
Yes.
And that's just because of the impurity of the food,
Yes.
processed foods, the seed oils, right? And that's what leads to what we do here at Zeno is testing for your omega-6 to omega-3 ratio, because omega-6 is simply inflammation, right? Now we need omega-6 because God designed omega-6, that inflammation. Let's just say, for example, if you cut yourself, if you didn't have omega-6 and it didn't inflame, you would just bleed.
You bleed all the way out.
You would bleed all the way out. So we need the inflammation. But problem is our culture and everything we eat contains seed oil, sunflower oil, grape seed oil, vegetable
and
oil.
all of those oils are
inflammatory.
Yes.
Right. So it's everything we eat. Then we have sugar that is causing inflammation. So we are basically in every bite, every drink, we are consuming something that is inflammatory.
Yes. Thank you for that. You know why? Because you think about it, and I'm going to drink this and it's low sugar, right? Or this isn't it. Back in the day, though, we all had sugar. We always craved sugar as a kid. We had a whole bunch of sugar in our red Kool-Aid, not flavored red. That's the flavor, right? But we also were moving and running.
Yes.
And we played outside.
Yes.
And now this culture is sitting in front of a television.
Right. And sugar is not a bad thing, right? The fruit has sugar, right?
Yes.
I think what we have to understand and distinguish is the processed sugar.
Yes. And we don't know the difference, though, right? Because you have pure cane sugar. I'll never forget when my mother changed our household to wheat bread. Mm-hmm. I'll never forget. My father and I are like, we're not eating that.
Right.
We eat white bread in this household.
Right.
Now, I only want white bread with my limbs, with some barbecue. Right. Like you only want it with some restaurant food. Otherwise, we only eat the wheat bread and eat the real thing. So when you say about the sugars, though, they're kind of in everything. So how do we get away from that?
Well, we can watch what type of sugars that we take in, right? So you have sugars, like if you got a can of pop, you'll see on there, you'll see the amount of sugar percentages in the pop. And right there, you'll see that added sugar.
Yes.
The added sugar is high fructose corn syrup.
Yes.
All right. That is an empty calorie. It has no value. It has no nutrition.
It's what I'm addicted to.
Yep.
It's what we're addicted to, right?
But it is actually like but she's addicted to. I'm about to tell her. Yeah, she's drinking poison, right?
Yes, you know yeah. And
it's poison.
And I said this on a panel last year because my nephew and niece, they have their first child. They're teaching her fruits and vegetables and doing right. And I was like, oh, I'm going to give my baby some candy so she can feel it. And then it hit me. You're trying to get her addicted to something that's not good for her.
Right.
Like, and it's really bad. Like, sugar is just like drugs. Right. And it is a drug, right? So let's talk about this. Zenzino?
Yes. Zenzino.
Zenzino. How that name?
Zenzino came is in partnership with a company out of Norway. And how I came about, it was this time about 2 years ago. Mm-hmm. My mother came very ill with cancer, and she had her second chemotherapy treatment. And in that second chemotherapy treatment, her body is shut down. At that time, she was 84 years old. And we brought her home, decided no more chemo, and we was just going to monitor her. So she wasn't able to eat. She was losing. She had lost so much weight. She wasn't able to go to the bathroom by herself. So then at that particular time, I was invited on a call. And this call with this company, I was on there with the owner of the company. And the company had been around 20 years. And it was out of Norway, and it was coming to America. So on that call, they had this omega-3 supplement, right? Mm-hmm. And I understood nutrition, but what impressed me about it, because it was in a liquid form, right? Because it was in a liquid form, I said, send it to me. So when they sent it to me, I started giving it to my mother. Within 3 weeks, I watched someone that I had to bathe and wipe her, right? Very tough thing for a man, but giving my sister a break. That wasn't eating, that wasn't able to walk, to all of this taking place. Now, I don't tell you that we cure, treat, or prevent diseases, because no product does that, but body just gives what the body needs to do so God can take care of itself. And that's how we came about with
Zenzino. Yeah. All right. Mm-hmm. We will be right back, everybody. We got to keep this conversation going, because I like the way you said it's at a cellular level and you're only talking about things that you know for sure.
Right.
Keep it locked with the Brunch Bunch. We'll be right back.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fabulous.
All that was supposed to be the intro.
Be social.
Wait, what?
You were just supposed to do the intro to say like, oh,
This is
hi,
what you have
Lamar, and then we'll
Yes,
come back.
and then we'll come back.
Yeah, but it's
You
fine.
got
It's perfectly fine.
you got to be telling me when to stop and when to start. All right, when am I back on?
In a few minutes. We'll be back on at 12:19.
19. Okay. 90 seconds. All right. So we'll continue with this. And then
Right after,
Get your
it's when
favorite
you can do
fragrance
your,
today. That's
blood drive.
BEQUEESE.com.
So we're gonna continue with
In the
this.
raw- the in the raw drop is going to be after this commercial.
Yeah.
At the James Center, we help entrepreneurs with everything from business plans,
All right,
to marketing, co-working space.
well, let's say I do want to continue with Frank though. I do want to continue with Frank, and then I think can I slide into that as we're talking about cellular inflammation, blood, what's in there, and then I'll slide lyric in. Yep, that'll work. And then I just need to know when we're doing. That's how good the Lord works. What time are we dropping
At
that?
12:27.
Thank you. That's what I needed.
What's up? What's up?
Right here on the Brunch Bunch for community chatter.
Hey everybody! If you all are talking to me, I really can't see you. Wait, is that Marcel Jackson? Oh no, that's just something that popped up there. Yeah, that's something that popped up there. Hey you all.
Tuesdays at 12:30.
Everybody say hi to Peggy.
Hey, hey Peggy. Which Peggy is that? That's not Peggy Riggins.
No.
Okay, I know Peggy. Hey Peggy.
Peggy Jones.
Peggy Jones. Okay. Hey Peggy Jones.
That's lyrics. But she don't sing a lick.
I love it.
Weddings or galas, GQ Gentleman has the suit that keep me looking sharp and feeling confident.
15 seconds to end the round.
Okay.
773-966-4383.
Continue the conversation.
Yep.
966-4383.
Get ready, we're about to go live.
GQ Gentleman, where Chicago's finest get suited and booted.
We're in the raw with Tamara Fair on the Brunch Bunch.
Thank you so much for keeping it locked right here with the Brunch Bunch. We're going to keep this conversation going.
Yes.
We are in the raw, but we're also going to keep this conversation going about the effects of inflammation, right? So I
Yeah.
appreciate you saying at a cellular level, right? So how do we know that though? When did somebody start talking to us about that?
Well, nobody has started talking about it. That's the problem. That's why.
Yes.
That's why the United States is the unhealthiest country in the world.
Yes.
So what happened was this disaster about 13 years ago. The owner of the Zeno was presented with this test, and what this test tests you for is your omega-6 to 3 ratio. Omega-6 inflammation,
Okay.
omega-3 is anti-inflammatory. So the World Health Organization says that you should be 3 to 1, no more than 3 omega-6s to 1 omega-3.
Okay.
If you are higher than 3 to 1, you are in the danger zone. So in the United
It's kind of like
States,
cholesterol.
yeah,
right?
all
You
of
have
that,
your
everything. So
HDL,
all of
your-
these markers,
yes.
right? So when you look at the test, right, in the United States, the average is 20 to 1. In the African American community, it's more like 30 to 40 to 1.
Yes.
We
easily.
almost double.
Easily. Because
Easily.
we don't even have the access to certain foods, right?
Right.
No one's definitely teaching us about omega
No.
3s. And we have
No.
food deserts in our
Now that's why
community.
I'm on here, because when I brought it to Tamara and she seen it, she said, "Oh my gosh!" And then she got the test back. Test takes 10 to 20 days to come back, and when it came back, you saw the markers. So on the test, they talk about mental health, but they talk about cellular health. They talk about academic acid. I'm gonna go into all of that today.
Yeah.
We're gonna talk about cellular health. So they test you for your cell membrane. So you have a cell, and inside the cell is called the membrane.
Mhm.
Now we made up of trillions of cells, right?
Yes.
When this cell membrane is hard and rigid, no matter how good you eat, no matter what nutrition you take, it's not getting into the cells.
I think we penetrate it.
You're right. Exactly. You got it. It has to penetrate it, right? So when it's hard and rigid like that, that is very dangerous, because the cells is where all diseases live
Yes.
and die.
Yes.
So our cells live for about 120 days. So that's why we tell people to retest in 120 days, so you can see your before and after from the omega-3 is 3. Now, what they found out in Norway is omega-3s do not work without polyphenols.
Okay.
So polyphenols, like if a fish is in the ocean and eat algae, those are polyphenols. You can also get polyphenols from pre-harvest olives. So when they combined the polyphenols with the omega-3, they started testing people and people was coming back in balance in 120 days.
Oh, very
with
good.
healthy cell membranes, healthy mental health. And with cell, people don't understand, this is where diabetes,
Yes.
heart disease, every 90 autoimmune disease,
Yes.
98% of the illnesses that are
We
out
have
there
are preventable.
are preventable.
Yes, through
Right.
diet.
Through diet.
Through diet.
This is nothing but this is not. People say, well, what's in it? How about olive oil and fish?
But see, there you go with that oils, right? So you're confusing me when you talk about the oils, all those oils that are in things. But no, I get what you're saying, and I appreciate. I'm going to bring you in here now, Lyric Porter, because you understood exactly what he was saying.
Yes.
As we talk about cells, you're doing a blood drive.
Yes, for Sickle Cell Awareness Month.
For Sickle Cell Awareness Month, right? So you're living with sickle cell.
Yes, and so sickle cell disease does affect your red blood cells. So
that's what we're talking about, red blood cells.
Yes, so to your point about just the functionality of cells. So with sickle cell disease, the oxygen gets limited, and it makes it hard for those blood cells to travel through your blood vessels, and it causes pain and things like that. And so one of the easiest treatments for sickle cell disease, because there is no cure, are blood transfusions. And so you get blood transfusions from blood donors. So sickle cell disease primarily affects people of color. And so what I'm doing, this is my second annual blood drive that I'm having, and I am trying to get more African Americans to donate blood so that we can help each other. And all the blood donations go directly towards patients with sickle cell disease in the Chicago area.
Yes. And so when you're talking about that, she understood exactly what you're saying about what gets into the cell and how those things happen, right?
We're talking red blood cells.
Yes, we're talking red blood cells, right?
And so to your point about the cell life of cells, a patient with sickle cell disease, their cells die much faster than a person without sickle cell disease. So we don't meet that 120-day mark with our cell life. And so that makes it easier, to your point, for other illnesses to impact us and have a lower immune system, because your cells are dying and they're
much faster.
And they're more susceptible to illnesses.
You know what? Thank you for that, because we keep missing the point on how that really works, right? Because no one is thinking cellular level.
Right.
We just don't.
Right.
We
It's not about diet. Diet is important. Yes. Losing weight is important. But cellular is you cannot live. You could be 500 pounds if your cells is good.
Yeah, absolutely.
Your cells is gone.
So does that come with the inflammation?
Yes.
And so then someone said once before, like one of the football players, he doesn't eat tomatoes because that's inflammatory, right? So do we mean like diet that way, or do we absolutely need to be taking this?
If I had to tell a person right here what is the one simple step they would need to do, they absolutely need to be taking this.
Okay.
I would say that absolutely, because
that's fair.
Yeah, because we're not guessing, we're testing.
Yes, I appreciate that. I'm feeling that.
We have tested over 1.5 million people. Yes. This test 2 weeks ago is now a peer-reviewed study.
Oh, very
with,
good.
With over 590,000 people in it over the last 10 years.
Okay.
Right. So they go to PubMed and do the research from the laboratory that does this, Venus, one of the top laboratory in the world.
Okay. So with that, how do we access that?
Yeah, you could text iHeart to 312-530-8505. Just text iHeart to 312-530-8505.
Yeah. And then that way we'll find out how we get the test, right? Yep. All right, that's fine. So thank you so much for that. I am going to come back to you right quick, though, as we talk about this blood drive that's happening this Sunday.
Yes.
When and where?
Yes. So my blood drive will be this Sunday, September 21st, on 901 East 95th Street at Imani Village, and it will be from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m.
All right.
And we will also be doing free screenings for the sickle cell trait,
yes.
which a lot of African Americans don't know they have until they reproduce and they have children and their children have the disease.
So we talked about that a little bit when we used to get a blood test when you were getting married, right? And we're like, we're talking, to see if you have any diseases. No, it's to see that you weren't related to each other, right? But now with sickle cell, we need to be adding that, because we need to know as African Americans, when we are meeting with people, we've had other children who didn't have sickle cell. We didn't recognize we were carrying the trait. So thank you for that. Again, this Sunday, 10 to 2. Imani Village, 901 East 95th Street.
Exactly.
Thank you, Lyric. Great to have you. We will be right back, everybody. Thank you so very much. I want you to keep it locked in with the Brunch Bunch. Okay. All right, good.
So now inflammation causes pain too.
Yeah.
So if you get the cells closer,
Yes.
that
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll keep it going.
Yeah. You know, they give you ibuprofen and stuff like that, like for inflammation, Tylenol, all that
Here,
kind of stuff.
here's the problem we have in America right now.
Oh.
We got doctors
There's something different for us going on.
and we got nutritionists.
Keep reading.
They can't get along
That's supposed to be
because the doctors
Okay.
don't know anything about nutrition.
Yep.
Right?
They do not.
All right. And most nutritionists know everything about the doctors.
Yeah.
But the doctors say, they do not comply with nutrition. So under the new guidelines that
They
Robert
think they're a
Kennedy
little bit
put out.
superior to nutritionists
Yeah,
too, a lot of
absolutely.
times.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Before, if you go back to the Fletcher system, go way back to the 1900s, there was only nutritionists. And then Carnegie and Rockefeller, they decided they wanted to fund the medical system.
Yes.
The petroleum companies, out of their anger of being demonopolized.
Frankie going real deep on
You know what I'm saying? But this is what happened. Then this is where they start funding who? University of Chicago and a lot of these other universities. And so it was them. Then it just got wider and wider. And then the nutrition.
So
there's no nutrition in school. So now the current Robert Kennedy, whether you like him or not, this is a great thing he's doing because he have done some great things now. We can talk. That's a whole different debate. You talk about the bad thing. Let's talk about good, right? He's removing the red dot. He's from the food. Okay. He's making doctors have to study nutrition when they're in school. Okay. All right. If everything else he does is wrong, and this right here is right, that is a good thing.
He's saving us without us even knowing it on that part.
Listen, there are zero. You can find 0 deaths of people dying from nutrition.
Zoe,
when
do I go back?
You can't find them. Medicine, over 200,000 people die every year.
What is it?
And then medicine cannot be processed in your organs. So that's why in our community we see nothing but dialysis centers. They're popping up everywhere. You know what I mean? And so we're not moving. If the country, if the doctors are leading the country, and there's no offense to doctors, they're leading the country, and the country is getting sicker.
Yes.
Come on, something's not working.
What's that
make it make sense.
I'm a ride or die girl.
Right.
But if you're driving me into a wall, I have a right to say, you can turn left right here, right? And like you said, I would often tell doctors, because I'm an HIV training specialist, so I train doctors, but I'm not an MD, right? So they're like, how does she know? And I said, hey, you practice medicine. I've perfected training.
Right.
So that's the deal. And not taking anything from my docs. My docs know it.
Right.
Especially Onyx Medical and Wellness, my team of docs who will tear me up when they're talking about stuff, and I'm not taking anything from them. But the reality is, you're absolutely right.
Yeah, I ask doctors to do this. If you see me, I've seen so many doctors just right here. Do your research.
Because you're not solving the problem with the medication, you're just helping the symptoms. But that will
you got
that issue.
Right. Your medicine is not in the Bible. This omega-3 is. Olive oil is. We know Jesus, his first miracle was fish, and he prayed on Mount Olives. You know
there you go. There you go. Now you talk about making it work.
Come on.
When I tell you
I'm just gonna make it make sense.
Make that work.
I call it S&S. I call it S&S. Simple, stupid.
You got it.
We gotta go back to S&S.
We really do. Keep it really cute.
When we was kids, in my when we was kids, and we got sick, that's where the word medicine cabinet came from, and it was in the kitchen.
It sure is. Our medicine cabinet is still in the kitchen. Now I'm gonna tell you, my dad's vodka stayed in there too. But anyway, we're gonna be going back.
That was
you got it. That's how
stress.
That's how he alleviated his pain, right? But no, our medicine cabinet really still is in the kitchen. All right. So no, thank you guys. We'll be going right back to this.
And we just keeping it rolling.
All right.
We're keeping it rolling. Me and Lyric.
Here we go.
She understands cellular health. She have amazing.
All right, what's going on? I am filling in for that Action Jackson. So thank you for hanging in there with us with the Brunch Bunch. It's your girl, but of course it's Gina Lamar. And then I also have Frank Kimbrough in here, Lyric Porter in here, who's going to be doing a blood drive on Sunday. But Frank is dropping so many gems that you're thinking, why didn't I know about this sooner?
Right.
Like, why don't we know about these things sooner?
Well, I mean, it's money, right?
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? It's so much money in the medicine. Nobody want to talk about the cure. You know what I mean? And
well, that's what some people have said about HIV, right? They're
Yeah.
like, oh, they could have been cured HIV, but they're getting so much money in the, you know, with us taking the meds, right? And I said, that's not quite the case.
Mhm.
We don't have that many people with it. Now, they're getting a lot of money,
Mhm.
but we don't have that many people that they actually do it. Farmers, if you really did this right, if we listened to you and did this the right way, we really could do better. They could do far better than
Yeah.
selling us a pill
Yeah,
that only some people will take.
Yeah, because everything illness, when we think about it, it's an inflammatory response to what hurts us.
Yes.
It's the inflammatory response. We can live with cancer. You can live with diabetes. You can live with sickle cell. You can live with all these different things if you can control the inflammatory markers,
Yeah.
right? If you control the inflammatory, then it needs to start to cease to exist. You know, that's why they tell people like Biggie say you gain 30 pounds and you die, no lie, right? That's the inflammatory response of death. You just blow up, you gain weight instantly.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That's the last thing that happens to you is inflammation.
So, not that we know that, other than, you know, test, don't guess.
Test, don't guess.
Are you saying we test every 120 days?
Yes, I would recommend testing it every 100. So what the company does is you get
that's 4 months.
Yeah. So you get this right here for $115, right?
Okay.
Your first shipment. And it's $45 a month. In 120 days, they send you a free test.
Okay.
Right? And then after that, you can choose if you want to test or not. But you'll know that your markers are going down. For the first year, I was testing every 120 days. Now I test every 6 months, right?
Okay.
But I take this every single day.
Now, my question is that something, like Lyric said before, is that something to just hide that and the test won't show it? Or is that something that's truly improving your health? And someone who has been taking it now, can you say you really and truly feel the difference?
Yes, it truly improves your health.
Good.
Right. You really, and that's the test, because you get to see the markers before and after. So we just talk about cellular health today, but you know, there's other markers. We're seeing people, like, for example, in your brain, you have to have a certain amount of DHA and EPA.
Yes.
If you don't, as a kid, you have autism. Okay, you have ADHD. As an adult, you have dementia.
Yes.
And Alzheimer's. Those markers can be shown if your test result and you're in the red, and you're lacking DHA. And this is science. Improving the DHA, EPA in there, then naturally you have those brain fogs start to go away. You know, we see in kids that are starting to speak. We're seeing elderly people that are speaking. We're seeing these results.
Mm-hmm.
We're not just saying it. We're not just doing this. This is 20 years where we have tons of data where this is actually taking place. And these are just two markers. We can just go into everything and take up the next show for every single week.
So I want to ask this question too. How do we as a community take this back ourselves? You're right. Big Pharma's not going to sell it to us. Big companies are not going to necessarily make sure that we know this, right? So getting your message out and making sure we understand that. How do we start making that change? What's the first thing you tell us to do? The second thing, after getting that test, don't guess,
right,
and getting our first prescription of the Zenzino, what else can we possibly do as a community? For some people who think $120 is just way too much money for me.
Well, what I tell a person, if a person feels like $115 is way too much for them, then they gotta understand the cost of their medicine gonna be way more. You know what I mean?
And we're not going to get our insurance companies to pay for this.
Right.
But you got it. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. And medication is far more.
Here's what I found out. It's never about the money.
Yes.
It's always about the value. We as African Americans do not value
our health.
We don't value our health. We can say they don't have the money, but their kids got the new the Jordans on their feet. You know,
absolutely.
Their hair is whipped. You know what I'm saying?
And we use the emergency room as our primary care. We only go when things are absolutely falling off. So
I mean, I save money because I don't drink pop. I don't drink juice. I only drink.
You drink water. Now I do feel a little bit judged as he sees me sitting here with a pop.
Well, that's because you said
And
that.
he said,
She did say she was trying to get that up, and she gave it up and lost 10 pounds. And she's sitting right here with a pop in hand.
but
I'm telling
again,
everybody,
I will
I'm
say,
snitching.
no, I will say that, and we were joking about, that's how I used to be back in the day when I was in my 20s and 30s. I was like, oh, I need to get into this outfit. I can just stop drinking pop and lose 10 pounds, right? Now I think about pop and gain 5. So obviously there have been some changes with my body, and I really and truly appreciate the way we're talking about this because we're talking about from childhood diseases to dementia.
Right.
So that really does show that we're talking cellular all the way through.
It is.
Yes.
It is. It's such an important topic, and I deal with this every single day. I deal with this with loved ones that are dealing with health crisis.
Yes.
That are not taking it, that don't take priority.
Yes.
Over it, right?
Who prioritize
I've had loved ones who pass away that didn't prioritize. They so when people come and say, "Oh, you just trying to sell a product," come on, I got millions of dollars worth of real estate. I don't have to do this. But I love my.
That
people,
was a flex. That was a flex, right? But I am going to ask you this and pulling lyric back into this lyric as you talk about this. Having been living with sickle cell for all these years now, you never tell a woman's age when she's 33. But no, having been living with sickle cell all this time, hospitalizations, all of that, has anyone talked to you about cellular health?
No, not really. They talked to me about the long-term effects of taking the medications that they prescribe me, but they don't talk to me about ways to really change my lifestyle or shift things to where I don't have to take them, because for me it's like I'm taking them because it's painful or I need to take them, but that's not my first choice.
Can we talk about
lifestyle
very quickly how sickle cell happens? Because some people have children and they don't have sickle cell. So how does sickle cell happen?
Yes. So sickle cell disease comes from both parents having the sickle cell trait and donating their S gene to their child. And so their child can have SS, which I have, and then they have another form of sickle cell disease, which is SC, which is also still sickle cell disease.
Oh, yeah. So that's the part. And again, like I said, people talk about that, but they never think about those type of things. When you hook up with somebody because he done flex and said he's got millions of dollars in real estate, you never think about, does he have the S gene and do I have the S gene, right? We're thinking about other things. So I appreciate
because a lot of times if you have the trait, people are like, oh, okay, well, your baby's okay, and they don't think about it until
they connect with somebody who has the trait.
Yes,
and
we
I learned something
don't have
today.
any
I didn't know that either. I'm gonna be home. I'm gonna be doing
and so that's actually how I got sickle cell
That's how
disease.
you
My father did not know that he had the trait, and so that's how I ended up with the disease.
Yeah,
because my mother knew that she had the trait, but my dad.
But she never thought to ask your dad to make sure he didn't have the trait.
Well, I think he said he didn't because he didn't know.
Oh, okay,
So,
possibly, yeah. So they'll be testing for the trait on Sunday.
Yes.
So I think if for nothing else, I know we want you to give blood. I always give blood. One of my nieces passed from sickle cell.
I got a question for
Okay.
Lyric. Yeah. So if a person go out there, they get tested, they in love, right? They engaged, they ready to start a family, and then they have a trait.
Both of them.
Yes.
It's on them to make that decision
if
they would like that to happen. Because if one parent has the trait and the other parent doesn't, the parent that does have the trait could possibly donate the S gene, or they could possibly donate their regular A gene, and the child will not have sickle cell disease or the trait, and then sometimes they could donate the trait.
It's a gamble.
And the child
It's
have
a
the trait.
gamble.
Exactly.
It's a
It's all about genetics.
But again, test, don't guess.
Test, don't guess.
Right. I'm still stealing that.
Right.
I'm an HIV specialist. I always want people to I always say, I use the word update your status. Because if I say, hey, you need to take a test for HIV, you say, I don't need to do that. Like in my head, that doesn't mean. But if you say test, don't guess. And if you say update your status, you recognize it's your status. So we are going to be wrapping up this segment. That's part of my thing, but wrap it up. Anyway, we're going to be wrapping this segment up. And I cannot tell you, I appreciate you saying you just learned something about sickle cell.
Yes.
We learned something about cellular health, and let's really and truly start looking at it. And we are going to be right back. Keep it locked with the Brunch Bunch. But of course, it's your girl, Gina Lamar, filling in for Action Jackson, and we will be back.
So now I see you have the flavor on there. So is it nasty?
No,
Be honest.
no,
Really?
honestly,
That's
honestly.
what you got out of all that saving our lives. Is it nasty?
You know,
I know.
Hey,
I
the
know.
liquid,
I told you.
I'm like,
Liv.
oh my God.
Live,
Jesus.
like, be honest, like, nigga,
Yeah,
you gonna
yeah.
laugh first.
Right.
Yeah.
Zoe, when did we come? Did the other people come?
No, they got like.
Oh,
Yeah,
they
so
are
you got the flavor on
Okay,
there.
Okay.
No,
And then what time
they
am I
got
coming
different
back?
flavors. They got like orange, lemon.
Because you know, some people take like the apple cider vinegar, like the.
Okay, because I was going to say we got the other guests are
Yeah.
coming, so we're gonna
Okay.
switch you guys
Watch out.
out. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, we signing off. Big legs. That's all. Got Gina.
And
Come on,
Gina,
what you
bam!
do?
I'm getting in here with you
Come
all.
on.
Bam! Thanks for tuning into the Brunch Bunch with us. Thanks, Frank.
Yeah.
Thanks, Lyric.
Come to the blood drive.
Yeah. Come on, give them the address again.
901 East 95th Street, 10 to 2. Sunday. This Sunday.
Support.
Yes.
Here,
All right,
nigga,
you
I'll
wanna
get
come
you
on
on my
in?
number
So now,
too.
do people
Absolutely.
Do people not
You get your
take?
phone.
Hey,
Put your
what's
phone
up?
on. Hey, brother. How you doing? What's going on?
Are people able to like
You can
get off
go
of
right
their
there.
medicines too?
We have seen that. Yep. You got a phone? Take this.
I do.
Oh.
Oh, the scan. I don't want to mess with the thing I'm on.
Okay,
Give it to
you
Lyric
alright.
and I'll get it.
Okay,
I promise.
cool.
Here, let me see. Wait, will it go right back? Here, give it to. Let me see. Here, take mine. Take your picture.
How you all doing?
I'm great. How are you? It's good to see you. Didn't it come up?
Yep.
All right, very
And you
good.
got mine.
I'm just gonna go right back to where we were. Lyric, you can have a seat right there. I mean, I'm saying over there. Yeah.
Okay.
If you need to pull this back, yeah, pull that seat out and help her with
I
it,
just
please.
sent you mine.
I'm ready. I am ready. I've been waiting for Michael Flanagan. Let's do this. Are you ready? You need 30 seconds.
No.
He said, I
I've been
stay
doing
ready.
this all year.
He said, I stay ready. All right, I'm ready. All right, guys, we're going quiet.
Going in 15.
That'll work.
Ready?
Oh yes.
5, 4, 3, 2.
Well, welcome back, everybody. Welcome back, believers. But of course, it's Gina Lamar filling in for Action Jackson with the Brunch Bunch. Thank you for keeping it locked, keeping it right here with us. I have my next guest in studio with us. I think you guys know him. If you're not, you've seen him around town. You know him. Michael Flanagan. Welcome.
Michael Flanagan, Esquire. You got to put the
Oh,
Esquire on there. I paid a lot for this laundry
Esquire.
now. Come on now.
Esquire.
It's
I know
Friday
that's
now.
exactly it. And people are like, what's an Esquire? Attorney Michael
Yes.
Flanagan, right?
Yes,
My husband's an attorney. But no, I'm kidding. But no, I definitely you're right. We have to put that on there. And then we will be talking about how cold you are as a personal injury attorney.
Yes, ma'am.
So you said you've been doing this. Tell us about it. What does it mean you've been doing this? And when you went to law school, was that your first choice? Personal injury?
So let's get into it. South side of Chicago, born and raised. East side, South Shore, Hyde Park. Whoop, whoop.
Okay, my sister brothers went to Hyde Park. I'm South Side, East Side.
No, not Hyde Park, the high school. Just Hyde Park, the neighborhood.
Oh, the
I'm
neighborhood.
Not up in the high school.
Oh, got you.
However, my office is located in Hyde Park. We specialize in personal injury cases, whether that be slip and falls or car accidents. We are here to get you paid. You can visit us online at windycityinjury.com or also call us at 773-789-8LAW. You see a lot of my billboards and bus stop benches around town. They all say, don't start panicking, just call Flanagan. So we are here to serve the city. I have an awesome staff of about 10 people, lawyers, paralegals, here to answer your calls. We do free consultations. So if you don't know whether or not you have a case, if you're in a wreck and need a check, in a crash or need some cash, call us or visit us online, windycityinjury.com.
All right. Well, thank you for that. There are a couple of lawsuits, though, that you have going on that are kind of high profile, right? One of them being is it the Roblox Discord lawsuit?
Yes, Roblox. It's such a sad situation. So Roblox, as many parents of young children know, is one of the most popular
video games for young children, and there have been a lot of sexual assaults taking place in that particular platform. So typically your average user is about 7 to 8, sometimes 9 or 10 years old. And you have these pedophiles that are coming into the platform and asking children to send them explicit photos and so forth and so on, and meet up with them. And it's sad. I mean, can you imagine in our generation, even the 80s babies or 90s babies can't imagine something like that when we were playing Nintendo. But I'm a parent of 2 young boys, and this is very alarming, particularly to people in our communities, right? Because it doesn't really cost anything to get onto this platform, and obviously we need to eliminate that. So if one has been a victim of some sort of sexual abuse arising out of Roblox, please give my firm a call.
What's that number again?
So it's 773-789-8-LAW. You can also visit us online, WindyCityInjury.com, the Flanagan Injury Law Group.
All right, so 773-789-8-LAW, LAW, right? Now, when we're talking about this lawsuit, some people don't think that it means their children, right? So as parents, should we now start talking to our children about, hey, did anybody ever talk to you on Roblox? You know, on the platform and stuff. And then what about the children who think, I know I shouldn't have done that. I definitely want to tell my parents because I'm going to get in trouble.
Yeah, well, first of all, this is egregious. I mean, Roblox makes about $4 billion a year. Okay.
Yes.
So
they should be able to. Yes.
They know this has been going on. They have just been dropping the ball and not monitoring these chat rooms. We should all, regardless if you've been a victim, we should all be warning our children about these pedophiles and this type of behavior, because it is very common. And I had a colleague of mine who said that he was riding in the front seat with another friend of his, and two young girls were in the back, ages 10 and 13, and they were on the Roblox platform. He was familiar that they had used it, and the first thing he asked them is, "Hey, has anybody ever asked you to send explicit pictures?" And they both looked at each other and said, "Yeah, it happens all the time." So
wow.
Children,
we just know not to do it, but what about the kids that don't know?
Correct. So children and active users of Roblox, this is happening like a lot, right now, like every day.
We're talking Roblox, but this is probably happening across a lot of platforms.
Correct.
And one of the things that happens is, and we do try to say about putting my nieces and nephews on the internet too soon, that people groom, right? So they start off, let's just play the game, and you think you're just playing with another 12-year-old or another 10-year-old, and you find out you're talking to an adult male. I appreciate you saying the company, $4 billion, you owe it to us to protect those users. You owe it to us to do that, right? So how do we start that conversation? How do we start that conversation so that we know to join the lawsuit?
Well, I mean, this is us protecting our nieces and nephews, our grandchildren, our children, our neighbors, our friends' children. Definitely contact my office, the Flanagan Injury Law Group. But outside of that, this is just a PSA that this is going on, and it's something that every parent should be aware of. And just monitoring your children. Roblox defenses that parents should be monitoring
their children.
Absolutely. And they can't control everything, et cetera, et cetera. Which, by the way, we are actively litigating against them. So that's an excuse that's going to fall on deaf ears. It's not a cognizable legal argument, right? We're going to make them pay. But besides that, we do have to monitor our children a little bit more. Sometimes we give the kids the iPad and they're on it for 2 or 3 hours and we don't know what they're doing.
Yes.
So,
but I still call BS on that one.
It's total BS.
I still call BS on that one.
And just like we've seen with a lot of high profile lawsuits against individuals and people, when they're high profile lawsuits against big companies, they tend to pay because right now we have the leverage.
Yes.
Right. So Flanagan Injury Law Group, WindyCityInjury.com. Contact us. Everything is confidential. It's attorney-client privilege, so don't feel ashamed. It's better to come out now about this stuff. And even if you don't know if you have a case or if your child has been sent a message,
let's get the conversation started. Contact our office right now. We are ready and willing to help.
And if nothing else, it can prevent something from happening.
Correct.
I want to move on to another another lawsuit, right? I'm a case manager on a case management agency. I've worked in child welfare. I've worked in HIV. I'm an HIV training specialist. But this next one that you're talking about at Hartgrove, like you talk about protecting the children. This is literally the protection agency for children. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, so I'm sure for some of our listeners, for those who know, Hartgrove, which is a place where young men go a lot of times when they're in trouble or when they're accused of having mental health issues. We have a current lawsuit against them for sexual assault and sexual abuse.
But it's for psych care too.
Correct.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. And the sad part about this is a lot of these young men are considered voiceless, right? These administrators and people that are taking part in this sexual assault thought that this would never come to light because a lot of these young people maybe have had troubled childhoods or trouble as teens. But the fact is, things that shouldn't even be said on the air.
Yeah, absolutely. Have been
taking place. And this has been going on for almost the past 20 years. So,
and they weren't heard because they were, quote, in a psychiatric institute.
Correct.
They were not believed because it's a big cover up, like you said. And so that's what makes the difference there. And you said for years it's been happening. How far can this lawsuit go back?
It can go back as far as 20 years.
Really?
This particular lawsuit, the statute of limitations is a little bit different than in your average personal injury case. So if you were at Hartgrove over the past 20 years and you have been a victim of sexual assault, I know I've talked to a lot of young men who don't like to talk about this sort of stuff. They've moved on with their lives, or at least have tried to move on with their lives and might be a little bit embarrassed. There is financial compensation. It's unfortunate and we can't go back in the past, but we can't hold these institutions accountable. And so my office is also working on that particular litigation. The Flanagan Injury Law Group, WindyCityInjury.com. You can send us an email. If you go to our website, you can send us an email. You can call us, but get in contact with us. If you know, or either you might have
suspect.
Exactly. This is not just for some of our listeners might not be directly affected by this, but you might have a nephew or a grandson or somebody or a neighbor.
Or you meet a man who has been there and can't figure out what's really going on with them, right? So I know we're talking about the injury, the personal part, but can there be any criminal charges against those people? What's that statute?
So the criminal aspect is a little bit different.
Okay.
Just because that statute of limitations kind of varies, and it's just a entirely different part of the justice system than the civil justice system. But we certainly want to hold these companies, whether it be Roblox or Hartgrove or some of these other companies, civilly accountable. And what that means is monetary damages. And we're talking about at the very least 6 figures here. So this is not something that you want to necessarily
be too embarrassed to discuss.
Correct. I mean, this could be potentially a life-changing outcome. And, our job as attorneys and for the type of area law that I practice is to try to turn a negative situation into a blessing or a positive situation.
Yeah. And you know what? That's another way of looking at it. But if you don't do anything else, if I don't want to have to talk about it, do I have to publicly do it, or can I simply just call your law firm?
You can call our law firm. Again, everything is attorney-client privilege. Don't let people talk you out of calling or saying, "Oh, it might be too late," or don't talk yourself.
Let you all do that.
Correct. Allow us to evaluate your case. It costs nothing. We don't get paid unless you get paid, right? So it doesn't hurt to pick up the phone, 773-789-8LAW. That's 773-789-8529. And we understand that these are some sensitive situations that we're addressing here on the radio today to our listeners. But again, if you know someone, or you might suspect that someone was a victim of abuse from either Roblox or Hartgrove, please give us a call and allow us to investigate it.
So I'm not to at all make light of it, because you're right. This is a very sensitive topic. But I jokingly, I said to you before, my wonderful ex-husband is an attorney, right? And I never forget, he's like, don't you talk. You just let the attorney talk. People keep talking. You let them talk and let them do it. I don't care if you were table dancing in heels. If you fall off the table, leave it up to us, right? Let us talk about it. That's the part that I want people to get. While we're talking about this, still just call you and talk to you. You'll let us know whether or not this is something worth pursuing. And I often tell people, no, this isn't about you necessarily getting rich. It's not going to change your life, and that person may never go to jail. But if you can pay for my mental health therapy for the next 30 years,
correct.
And if you can teach me to protect my own children, right? Because unfortunately, people think, oh, I'm in the system. So if I'm in the system, I have to put up with this. And you don't have to put up with this.
Yeah, and just in general, a lot of these issues have put us as a community behind.
Absolutely.
Right? And so our job at the Flanagan Injury Law Group is to help us get even and then get ahead.
And get ahead. And not just even, but get ahead. And I appreciate that, because some people think, oh, it's just about the money. No, it's about everything else that comes with it. Think about how cathartic it can be to actually have that conversation that you had been suppressing with possibly drugs and alcohol, food, whatever the case may be, right? You're now dealing with it, and you're dealing with it in a manner that's going to put you a little bit ahead. So thank you so very much. Can you tell us that number one more time? I have 773-789-8LAW.
Correct. Or WindyCityInjury.com. You all see me around town. Don't start panicking. Just call Flanagan. Have a blessed day, listeners.
I love it. So thank you all so very much. This has been another Friday, a great brunch bunch. But of course, it's Gina Lamar here, sitting in for Action Jackson and the Brunch Bunch crew. I do want to let you know to keep on listening to Inspiration 1390. We're going to keep this going, and see you on Monday. Stay optimistic.
Be inspired.
And I was all over the place with the outro. Thank you. No, thank you. So again, you're right. I have seen you around. Bye, everybody. We're going to be, Justice is going to take us off here. And then I'm going